My video is escaping a narcissist deadly matrix. So that's cause for the war paint, because we are at war with the narcissist to get out, and the war pictures in the background. Today I brought in a special friend of mine, a recovery buddy, a fellow narcissistic abuse survivor, 12-step program buddy. Welcome, Donna.
Thank you.
And also, the cause for this video is because, as you see, I have a search and rescue hat on, and I want to be your guide into helping you get out of a narcissistic relationship or out of a narcissistic matrix safely, with your sanity and with your safety. And Donna, you want to tell a little bit about your narcissistic abuse situation?
Well, I was not aware that I was in one, and when you find yourself up late at night Googling the definition of marriage or respect or loyalty, and asking questions that there just doesn't seem to be an answer to, then you're probably in a narcissistic relationship when you can't find solutions, and the reason for that is because there are those out there who, I mean, Rinda and I both have come out of the matrix, but there are those out there who don't realize that they're in a matrix, and what that means is that there are how do you explain it?
Okay, well,
programs.
So you know, I don't know how many of you have watched the movie The Matrix, but I encourage you to watch it because it's a really great movie. And so Morpheus takes Neo into the room, and he says, "You have two choices. You can take the blue pill of staying in denial, or you can take the red pill and see the truth." And when you come out of a narcissistic relationship, you've taken the red pill. When you are oblivious to what's going on, or you're in complete denial, then you've chosen to take the blue pill.
And the blue pill, it represents I'm going to say mindless drone. I know that sounds awful, but when you're programmed with what other people want you to believe about yourself and want you to believe about them, then you're not your own person, and you don't own your own truth. And when some of us intuitively knew that and sought truth, but some unfortunate souls have no clue that they are programmed and by narcissists. So there's different types of abuse. There's the kind that you grow up where you're clueless, and then there's the kind where maybe you work with a narcissist and you have to put food on the table, and you have to deal with a narcissist, or you inadvertently fell for a narcissist because they love bomb and they know what they're doing. But there are the narcissistic abuse syndrome individuals are typically clueless that they're brainwashed.
Yeah. So I want to go back to, you know, growing up with the narcissist, and growing up with the narcissist. One of your parents was a narcissist, or possibly both, but you're programmed to believe these things about yourself that are untrue, and it's set up in a way. If there's a family, then you've got the golden child, and then you've got the scapegoat. Everybody has a role. And so typically, and I did this in another video about the family dynamics, the narcissistic family dynamics, and it talks about how the scapegoat actually has it easier because they're already further detached. But when they're the golden child, they are stuck into that relationship and enmeshed with the narcissistic parent. And I think that's kind of what the situation that you've been in. Yeah.
Yes.
Where the golden child is the patriarch and thinks that they still are
the
in
parents,
control.
The parents are the chosen, groomed golden child now believes that he is the what's the word? Not programmer, but
he's the agent in the movie.
Pretty much, he decides who's accepted and who is not, and they can vet you very easily. If you're a nonconformist, which means you would be a person of the red pill, then if you come into the family, they're going to target you. And in my particular case, there was a scapegoat already, and she bore the brunt of everything wrong in the family. But yet, when I asked, "What has she ever done to you?" nobody really could answer that question. And so then the golden child is a very, very strange situation. I'm probably not going to get into all the details of his life and how it connects, but trust me when I say that they're not appreciative of honest people. If you have integrity and honesty and different standards and values, you won't survive.
Right, because like in the movie, it talks about, it has the agents who are after the people that have sought and taken the red pill.
Right.
And that's kind of the situation that you've been in, is
Yes.
that, somebody who is the narcissist is acting as the agent and is after Neo.
Right.
Because Neo can see the truth, and that the reality is that the reality that we see, or that the normal people see, is a figment of our imagination.
Right.
Because the reality in a narcissistic system is, the truth of what you see.
I'll try to give a brief example. My husband had no idea that this scenario even existed, and that roles were assigned in the family. He didn't know his mother was a narcissist, and it was not a popular idea when I came to that conclusion. And so getting him to see the truth has been a excruciatingly painful experience. And in my attempt to do that, I've been, by the family, I have been framed for a felony. He was sued repeatedly because his ex-wife is also a narcissist, and we didn't know that they were working behind the scenes together. I didn't know anything about narcissism back in the day, but today I do. And the thing about them is, when you ask them, why don't you like so and so? What's she done to you? They can't give you an answer.
Mm-hmm.
They can't give you an answer. And what they do is they can act in the most vile ways, and you're just supposed to take it or ignore it. And what they do is they take the adjectives that actually belong to them and smear campaign you. And that's what's happening to me over and over and over. And what they have done is they have fed my husband, is what I call the blue pill. They defined me early on in our relationship, and he still treats me according, somewhat, not totally, but he still treats me according to their definition of me, regardless of what I do. And I'm in a position, the reason I'm at Rinda's, I'll just tell you, is because I'm in a position right now where the things that they have done to me and to him are vile. They're vile. And he's having a difficult time accepting the reality of who they are. And I feel like I'm the liability.
So let's talk about the most dangerous part, okay?
Okay.
And the most dangerous part that I see is that you've taken the blue pill, right? It's been shoved down your throat your entire childhood. Then you get to the point like we are. We've had the red pill, but the dangerous part of it all is when you are seeking the non-existent purple pill, because that's where you're in cognitive dissonance. That's where you know the truth, but you don't want to see it. So that's the well, I'm going to call it the purple zone, because that's the most dangerous.
That's where someone will turn to drugs and alcohol or any other self-destructive behavior, because you can't live in both worlds.
Right. And the PTSD for those people is extremely high.
Yes.
You know, so being caught in that purple zone is where the deadly part of this matrix exists, because you do have a little bit of the truth, but you're stuck in the lie, and it's caused by manipulation. It's caused by, if you don't do this, I'm going to go do that. So the manipulation is caused by your own denial, because you have your own childhood wounds, and it's caused also. It's caused because the narcissist actually seeks you out. So, go ahead.
Right, and what they look for is the very goodness that is in you, that is your purpose in life, for your good. That's what the narcissist looks for, and that's what the narcissist wants to take from you. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, because you're inherently good,
right?
And that's because when you have that quality about you, then when narcissists seek it out. They seek it out because they know that out of the kindness of your heart, you're going to give. You're going to give and give and give, and they're going to manipulate you.
Yes.
To no end, to get their narcissistic needs met,
right.
However they go about doing it.
Right. Because they don't they don't grow. Okay, they never solve problems. They ignore problems, because in the matrix, it's a world of make-believe. It doesn't exist. When you take the red pill and you live in reality, we accept that nothing is perfect. We accept that things are going to come up that we're going to have to deal with, and we just put on our big girl panties and live life. Right. But in the matrix, that's not how it works. In the matrix, they will they can't grow because they don't solve problems. Solving problems gives you confidence and spiritual growth, and that doesn't happen in the matrix. But they would deny that. Mm-hmm. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, you're saying that. You're saying that right. So also being caught in that purple zone, you know, after you've had a dose of the blue and taken the red, you know, like I said, that's the most dangerous zone that you can be in. So let's talk about how to get out of that, how to go ahead and take the great big red pill of truth and step out and not go back into the purple.
Okay. Well, that can be dangerous. In the case of my husband, coming from a very large family of blue pill people, it was dangerous for him to. They consider that a betrayal. They have a fear of being exposed for who they really are, and so it depends on the degree of narcissism. If they're malignant narcissists, then it can be deadly.
Now let's give just a brief explanation of what a malignant narcissist is.
Okay. Well,
in your view, what's your take on what a malignant narcissist is?
Okay, malignant narcissist is someone who does not have a conscience. Is I was going to say not self-reliant, but they actually can be very self-reliant. they don't take responsibility for anything that they do wrong.
No empathy.
No empathy.
No compassion.
They don't care if they hurt you. They care about getting what they want.
And let's briefly describe a covert narcissist, just for those new viewers that are just learning about this.
Okay, the overt narcissist doesn't care who sees and knows what they're doing. But a covert narcissist does everything behind the scenes.
Right.
And one in particular that I'm currently dealing with will even pay a compliment about you to someone else, because then when something happens, they've already set the stage that you're the one at fault. That's exactly what happened in the beginning of my relationship. My husband's ex-wife said, "Oh, I really like Donna, but I don't think she's gonna like me very much." Well, her self-fulfilled prophecy came true, because she crossed my boundaries and she had no respect. And so when I started showing signs of discontent with her, she had instant credibility. What she said came true.
So let's talk about how to get out of this deadly matrix. You know, I said just a few minutes ago about taking the hard to swallow red pill. And like for me, coming out of my narcissistic relationship, you know, I started coming out of it around in 2010, and then, well, as you know, I fell into the purple zone, because, you know, the love bombing started. Everything was going great. He bought me a new ring. I thought everything was wonderful. Back and forth, and then it was like, I don't know. Well, I moved in and out several times, because things had happened, you know. And then the big blow came in September of 2014. You know, where I had found out a lot of things that had happened that I was in denial about. And then once we were actually separated and living in separate dwellings, seriously moved 4 houses away from me, was stalking me. And, you know, I had to leave the state to save my life, you know, because it wasn't going to stop.
I want to add too that it's very difficult on the person who can see what's going on, and you never know. Or in my case, I've never found that fine line in there, when to shut up and when to speak. But I feel like as Rinda's friend, when she got the ring, I didn't know the words love bombing and all of that, but I knew what that meant, and I saw her falling for it, which broke my heart. And I mean, I'm sure we talked some,
yeah,
but I tried to be supportive, but yet not enabling, and it's a very difficult place to be. And for those of us who have been through this and survived it, and can see when someone is in danger, we will put ourselves in danger to help someone who's in trouble,
who's in the purple zone.
You know, they know the truth, they know better, but the matrix is more comfortable. Even though it's a lie, they think it's more comfortable, but it's not. It's
like Morpheus sitting there in the room with the agents, and they've got him. They're trying to pick his brain, and then Neo risks his life to go in and save him. And that's what's dangerous for us who have already survived, that are going through recovery for narcissistic abuse, is
right.
When we see somebody else, you know, being narcissistically abused, and we're trying to get them out of the purple zone, it puts you in danger as well.
It does, because the narcissist knows that you're on to them.
Right.
And you become a target. And once you're a target for life. You're always in the crosshairs. And so the person in the middle, in the purple zone, and you're trying to win them over, saying, you're in danger there, come with me, where there's truth and reality and safety. And sometimes they don't want to see it. And if they don't want to see it, at some point you have to let go. Otherwise, you're going to be in the narcissist crosshairs, and bad things are going to happen.
So, again,
they have a lot to lose by losing that purple person.
right, they do. And so, as your guide through this narcissistic abuse recovery, let me say that having a strong sense of self, learning to believe in yourself, learning to love yourself, becoming, aware and starting to resolve your childhood issues. Go back and look at your family of origin, because that's where it all began. Because you weren't just selected, right? You were groomed for this.
Right.
You were groomed in childhood, and then you were selected by the narcissist in your life at this time.
Right.
So
it's kind of a compliment.
It is.
It's kind of a compliment.
It
like,
is,
hey, you're a good person.
Right. It's right. You're a great person, but I'm going to destroy you.
And if you're a scapegoat, you're not a loser. If you're a scapegoat, you're not a loser that they try and paint you out to be. You're the winner because you are in the know. So I feel so bad for scapegoats, and I've been one.
And but again, as the scapegoat, it's easier to detach, because you'd already done that from your family of origin. You, at a very early age, you detach, so it's easier for you to get out of it and get away. And that was my case. Is like, I turned 17 years old, and I'm like, see you, bye. I was gone. I went in the military, and I didn't have contact. I didn't have regular contact with my family of origin, because I was out of state. At times I was out of country, which was, good and bad. But because when I was out of country is where I met my next narcissist. And that's because, and it was simply because that I had not done my own inner work. Okay. So to protect yourself, do your work, learn who you are.
As much as you can.
Right. Watch the videos, learn about narcissism.
Yeah.
Educate yourself. Take this great big pill, this red pill, and learn the truth.
And don't be afraid. It is very frightening. It's scary to think that you're going to lose everything that you have and that you know. But the truth is, you don't have it anyway. You only think you do.
Right. And that's the matrix.
Right.
It's not real. That was one of the things that kept me in that relationship, because I was terrified that I wasn't going to make it. I was terrified financially that I wasn't going to make it. I was terrified emotionally I wasn't going to make it, because I'd never lived alone. So I had to reinvent my life. I had to learn that, hey, you know what? No matter what, I'm a survivor, and I've got this, and I'm going to make it. And, the last 18 months have been the happiest of my entire life, because I have escaped the matrix. And I'm living my dream, and I'm the happiest that I've ever been.
And the only peace that you can experience in the matrix is if you're a total conformist and you agree to let other people dictate your decisions, who you are.
The narcissist is always right. That's
right.
The only way you win living in the matrix.
Right, but the only peace is really in taking the red pill and knowing the truth. And yeah, you'll have problems, but you'll solve them and you will feel better. And there's no one trustworthy in the matrix. The only trustworthy people are outside of the matrix.
So, to end this, the choice is yours. You can continue swallowing the blue pills, or you can take the red pill of truth and free yourself.
And we'll be here to help you.
My name is Rinda Hall. Thanks for watching.